Hi guys, today our story is called Strega Nona and it's written by Tommy DePaulo. In a town in Calabria, a long time ago there lived an old lady everyone called Strega Nona, which meant Grandma Witch. Although all the people in town talked about her in whispers, they all went to see her if they had troubles. Even the priest and the sisters of the convent went because Strega Nona did have a magic touch. She could cure a headache, she made special potions for girls who wanted husbands, and she was very good at getting rid of warts. But Strega Nona was getting old and she needed someone to help her with the house and garden, so she put up a sign in the town square. Big Anthony went to see her. "Anthony, you must sweep the house and wash the dishes, weed the garden, pick the vegetables, feed the goat, milk her, fetch water, and for this I will give you 3 coins, a place to sleep, and food to eat." "Oh, grazie," said Big Anthony. "And one thing you must never do," said Strega Nona, "is touch the pasta pot." "Oh, see, yes," said Big Anthony. And so the days went by. Big Anthony did his work and Strega Nona met with the people who came to see her for headaches and husbands and warts. Big Anthony had a nice bed to sleep in the goat shed, and he had food to eat. One evening when Big Anthony was milking the goat, he heard Strega Nona singing. He peeked in the window, and when he did, this is what he heard. "Bubble, bubble, pasta pot, boil me up some pasta nice and hot. I'm hungry and it's time to sup. Boil enough pasta to fill me up." And the pasta pot bubbled and boiled and was suddenly filled with steaming hot pasta. Then Strega Nona sang, "Enough, enough, pasta pot, I have my pasta nice and hot. So simmer down my pot of clay until I'm hungry another day." "How wonderful," said Big Anthony. "That's a magic pot for sure." And Strega Nona called Big Anthony for supper. Too bad for Big Anthony, he didn't see Strega Nona blow 3 kisses at the pot. And this is what happened. The next day when Big Anthony went to town square to fetch water, he told everyone about the pot and they laughed at him. "You better go and confess to the priest, Big Anthony, such a lie." "I'll show them," he said to himself. "Someday I will get the pasta pot and make it cook. Then they'll be sorry." Then the day came sooner than even Big Anthony would have thought, because 2 days later Strega Nona said to Big Anthony, "Anthony, I must go over the mountain to the next town to see my friend Strega Amelia. Sweep the house, weed the garden, feed the goat, milk her, and for your lunch there's bread and cheese in the cupboard. And remember, don't touch the pasta pot." As soon as Strega Nona was out of sight, Big Anthony went outside, pulled the pasta pot off the shelf, and he began to sing. "Bubble, bubble, pasta pot, boil me some pasta nice and hot. I'm hungry and it's time to sup. Boil enough pasta to fill me up." And sure enough, the pot bubbled and boiled and began to fill with pasta. "Aha," said Big Anthony, and he ran to the town square, jumped on the fountain, and shouted, "Everyone get forks and plates and platters and bowls. Pasta for all at Strega Nona's house." Big Anthony was a hero. He scooped out pasta and filled the plates and platters and bowls, and there was more than enough for all the townspeople, and some people even came back for 2nd and 3rd helpings. When all had had their fill, Big Anthony sang, "Enough, enough, my pasta pot, I have my pasta nice and hot. So simmer down my pot of clay until I'm hungry another day." But alas, he did not blow 3 kisses. He went outside, and he was so busy listening to the compliments from everyone, he didn't notice the pasta pot was still bubbling and boiling, until a sister from the convent said, "Oh, Big Anthony, look." And pasta was pouring over the pot, all over the floor, and out the door. Big Anthony rushed in and shouted the magic words again, but the big pot kept bubbling. He took the pot off the floor, but pasta kept pouring from it. Big Anthony grabbed a cover and put it on the pot and sat on it, but the pasta raised the cover and Big Anthony as well, and spilled on the floor of Strega Nona's house. "Stop!" yelled Big Anthony, but the pasta did not stop, and if someone hadn't grabbed poor Big Anthony, the pasta would have covered him up. The pasta had all but filled the house. It was coming out through the windows and through the doors. The townspeople began to worry. "Do something, Big Anthony," they shouted. Big Anthony sang the magic song again, but without the kisses, it did no good. By this time, the pasta was on its way down the road and people were running away from it. We must protect ourselves from the pasta, shouted the mayor. Get mattresses, tables, doors, anything to make a barricade. But even that didn't work. The pasta kept coming. We are lost, said the townspeople. The pasta will cover our town, and it certainly would have, but Strega Nona had come down the road home from her visit. She didn't have to look twice to know what had happened. She sang the magic song and blew the 3 kisses with a sputter. The pot stopped boiling and the pasta came to a halt. Oh, grazie, thank you, Strega Nona. But then they turned on poor Big Anthony. Put him in jail, they shouted. Now wait, said Strega Nona, the punishment must fit the crime. And she took a fork from a lady and said, all right, Anthony, you wanted pasta, and I want to sleep in my little bed tonight. So start eating. And he did. Poor Big Anthony. The end. I hope you have a wonderful week.